Those who have received this knowledge are like immortals among ordinary people. Pistis Sophia. Since the beginning of time, true knowledge has been kept by a few and sought after by many, not out of cruelty, but out of fear. Ignorance fears the light because light exposes the illusions we live by. People who have followed this path have been labeled heretics, alchemists, witches, mystics, and enlightened ones. Some were burned at the stake, others exiled, and many had to hide their wisdom in symbols, metaphors, and coded writings. This book is a gateway. It's not for those looking for easy answers or trying to fit into society's expectations. It's a guide for those who feel reality isn't what it appears to be. For those who sense their consciousness is trapped by imposed limits. For those who believe there's more beyond dogma, matter, and surface appearances. The main message here isn't about blindly following beliefs. Faith is a universal law, as real as gravity. In the pages ahead, you'll discover that faith doesn't belong to any one religion. It's the hidden code that holds existence together. What we see with our eyes is just a tiny piece of a much bigger whole, a shadow cast by higher dimensions. Those who understood this left their stories in texts that were banned, broken, or hidden away. Don't be surprised if I say you need to be born again. The wind blows where it wants, and you hear its sound, but don't know where it comes from or where it goes. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit. Gospel of John, Ref 3:8. Humans aren't trapped in flesh and time. There's a rebirth that's not physical, but a transformation of consciousness. A waking up to who we really are. The pursuit of lost wisdom. The knowledge here isn't new. It's been around in every culture, hidden in myths, legends, and secret traditions. The ancient Essenes, keepers of the Dead Sea Scrolls, spoke of the children of light's wisdom. In Hermetic Egypt, they said the universe is mental, and whoever understands that can shape reality at will. As above, so below. As below, so above, to accomplish the miracle of one thing. Emerald Tablet, Hermes Trismegistus. This principle, passed down through alchemists and mystics, reveals the power of the mind. Faith isn't just positive thinking. It's the full alignment of consciousness with divine order. The Gnostic Gospels, hidden by the Church, insist that divinity isn't outside but inside every human. Pistis Sophia says, if you knew the all, nothing would be hidden from you. And if you came to know yourself, you would know, and you would be known. The Rosicrucians, persecuted for sharing these truths, taught that faith is a vibration, a frequency that moves through different levels of existence. Their secret writings say, the universe is mental. The visible comes from the invisible. Will and belief are the keys to mastering matter. From the Sufi al-Hallaj, who was executed for saying, I am the truth, to Paracelsus and medieval alchemists who spoke of turning lead into gold, a metaphor for raising consciousness, all point to the same truth. Humans create their reality, and faith is how the invisible becomes real. Guardians of hidden knowledge. It's no accident that people who carry this wisdom have been silenced. Giordano Bruno, a Renaissance philosopher and mystic, said the universe is infinite and humans can connect with the divine mind. For this, he was burned alive in 1600. Meister Eckhart, a German theologian, was condemned for saying the soul could unite with God without any middlemen, just like the Cathars, Templars, and Gnostics before him who were branded heretics. Why does the world fear this knowledge? Because it brings freedom. It breaks the chains of imposed dogma. It frees the mind from the prison of fate. The purpose of this book is an invitation to remember. It's not for skimming or casual reading, but for those who are searching for deep answers. If you're open to seeing and hearing beyond the surface, you'll find a spark of the original flame here. It's no coincidence these words reached you. Synchronicity is one of the universe's ways. It takes courage to question what's accepted and boldness to step into forbidden knowledge. If this book is in your hands, it means you're ready. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore the laws behind reality. How thought influences the quantum field, the link between faith and conscious creation, and secrets hidden from humanity on purpose. Here, the truth behind the veil is revealed. Get ready to let go of what you thought you knew. The path is laid out, but the choice to walk it is yours. And as the mind governs all, so the universal law of creation. Listen to your subconscious. By the way, we've noticed over 90% of people who visit our channel aren't subscribed yet. You can support us by hitting subscribe and liking the video. Thanks for inspiring us to create more and better content for you. Are you ready to shape your life? Chapter 1. Faith as a Universal Principle. If you had faith as small as a mustard seed, you would say to this mountain, "Move from here to there," and it would move. Nothing would be impossible for you. Matthew 17:20. Since the dawn of civilization, humanity has been fascinated by the invisible force that moves the universe. Some called it divine will, others called it destiny. But those who truly understood knew this force is an unchanging law. Faith, far from just trusting the unknown, is the foundation on which creation stands. It works on every level, from the birth of stars to shaping our personal reality. Faith isn't just something believers have. It's a cosmic energy, a vibration that connects what we see with what we don't. Ancient writings reflect this truth in many ways. In the Corpus Hermeticum, Hermes teaches that mind is the ultimate cause of existence, and those with unshakable faith can shape reality at will. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "It is the conviction of the mind that determines the destiny of a being. What he believes, that he becomes." The ancients knew faith bridges the physical world and the realm of endless possibilities. Every culture has left traces of this wisdom, but it's often been twisted, hidden, or rejected. The medieval church turned faith into blind obedience. Early science dismissed it as superstition. Yet those who've unlocked the universe's secrets know faith is the key to creation, the universal mind, and manifestation. The all is mind, the universe is mental. The Kybalion. If the universe is mental, as the Hermetic teachers said, then faith isn't just belief, it's a creative force. The mind channels reality into existence. Faith is the absolute certainty in something before it appears in the physical world. Medieval alchemists, heirs of the Hermetic tradition, understood faith as the foundation of mastery. They weren't just after turning metals into gold. They sought to transform reality itself through focused consciousness. As Kelso wrote, "Faith itself has the power to do what the will desires, for faith creates its own reality." Jewish Kabbalists, in their most secret writings, taught that faith is the original vibration that sustains the tree of life. The Zohar, Kabbalah's central text, says that when words are spoken with absolute certainty, they can change the very structure of the world. Throughout history, keepers of forbidden knowledge were persecuted. The Templars were wiped out in the 14th century because their power challenged both church and kings. The Cathars, in the 13th century, were destroyed for teaching that visible reality is an illusion and that true creation happens in the mind. Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, kept this wisdom alive through symbolism. Al-Hallaj was executed in 922 for saying, "I am the truth," meaning that through faith and consciousness, a person can unite with the essence of existence. Meister Eckhart, a 14th century German theologian, was condemned for saying faith isn't just an external act of worship, but a union with a creative force. Whatever you believe with absolute certainty already exists in the spiritual realm, and if your mind doesn't block it, you will see it appear. This idea also appears in Eastern teachings. The Tao Te Ching says, "The sage doubts not. His faith is his power, and his power is his faith in the universe's flow." Chapter 2. The universe's hidden structure and the role of consciousness. If those who guide you say, "Look, the kingdom is in the sky," then the birds will get there before you. If they say, "It is in the sea," then the fish will get there first. But the kingdom is within you and all around you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are children of the living Father. But if you don't know yourselves, you live in poverty, and you are that poverty. Gospel of Thomas. Since the very beginning of human thought, the initiates have seen the universe not as a lifeless structure, but as an interconnected field of forces. Secret teachings, banned religious texts, and modern quantum physics all point to the same truth. Reality isn't fixed, it's shaped by consciousness. In this chapter, we'll explore the hidden nature of the universe and the essential role consciousness plays in shaping it. The universe as a mental creation. From Hermetic writings to Vedic teachings, the idea that the universe is mental has been consistent. In the Corpus Hermeticum, Hermes says, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." If the universe is mental, then it's not a rigid set of physical laws working without us. It's a flexible construct shaped by thought. Hindu philosophy echoes this, describing the world as Maya, an illusion sustained by the cosmic mind. Kabbalistic and Sufi traditions teach that the universe came from a divine word, a primal vibration bringing existence out of nothing. The Zohar explains reality emerged from infinite emptiness, structured through divine thought. This is a core idea in esoteric metaphysics. What feels solid and real is just energy vibrating at different frequencies. Consciousness as the creator of reality. The idea that consciousness shapes reality isn't just spiritual. It's something modern science is beginning to explore. The famous double-slit experiment in quantum physics showed that subatomic particles behave differently depending on whether they're being observed. If simply observing can change matter's behavior, what does that say about reality? Carl Jung, the father of depth psychology, suggested the mind doesn't just affect perception but reality itself. His idea of synchronicity says events aren't connected by cause and effect alone, but by meaningful coincidence. Whatever the unconscious brings to consciousness will guide your life, and you'll call it destiny. If the mind can influence the very structure of existence, then faith is the tool that makes this happen. Ancient civilizations kept this truth alive in their most secret teachings. In ancient Egypt, priests of Thoth and initiates of the Osiris mysteries knew reality was flexible, and that mastering the mind meant mastering the world. The hieroglyphs at Luxor and Karnak still whisper this truth. As within, so without. As above, so below. The Essenes, the mystical sect many believe Jesus belonged to, guarded this knowledge closely. The Dead Sea Scrolls show they believed reality could be shaped by pure thought and spoken words. The Gnostics, whose writings were destroyed and banned by the Church, taught that the visible world is an illusion created by lower forces, and humanity could rise above it through knowledge and faith. The Gospel of Judas says, "You will surpass this world, for the light is within you and the power is in your hands. Medieval alchemists inherited this wisdom, expressing it in metaphors like turning lead into gold. Paracelsus wrote, "He who understands the true nature of the mind will not fear matter, for matter is but crystallized thought." The power of words and vibration. Mystics across traditions have understood reality as a vibratory energy. The spoken word carries that vibration and can influence the fabric of the universe. In Genesis, creation begins with words, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The Tao Te Ching teaches, "The sage knows the power of the name, for the name is the key to form." Mantras in the Vedic tradition, Sufi chants, and alchemical prayers aren't empty rituals. They are acts of creation themselves. Faith isn't about blind dogma or random belief. It's a universal force behind all creation. It's not tied to religion but to aligning with cosmic laws. Those who understand this can change their lives and realities. The ancients knew it. Alchemists practiced it. Mystics lived it. Whoever holds absolute faith holds the universe. Knowledge is in front of you. The choice to use it is yours. Chapter 3. The Soul and the Illusion of Matter. The body is the shadow of the soul. It is not the soul that is within the body, but the body that is within the soul. Corpus hermeticum. Since the beginning of time, humans have tried to understand their true nature. The fundamental question asked by philosophers, mystics, and scientists remains, are we bodies that have a soul, or souls temporarily living in a body? Esoteric traditions have long taught that matter isn't the foundation of existence, but an illusion, a brief expression of eternal consciousness. Alchemists, Sufis, Gnostics, and Vedantins all say the physical world is just a reflection of a higher reality, a dream created by the universal mind. Matter as illusion. In Vedic philosophy, Maya describes the illusion of material reality. The Upanishads say, existence as we perceive it is a dream created by the cosmic mind. Just as a man dreams and sees things that don't really exist, so too is the illusion of the visible world. Buddhism's concept of shunyata, emptiness, supports this. All forms lack independent existence. What looks solid and real is really a mental construction. Gnostics in the material prison. Gnostics, heirs to the esoteric traditions of Egypt and Mesopotamia, taught that the material world is a prison created by beings called archons, whose goal is to trap souls in ignorance. The Gospel of Philip, one of the Nag Hammadi texts, says, "The world is a snare. Man walks in a dream he must wake up from. Only those who remember their origin will see the truth." Apocryphal Gospels like the Gospel of Judas reveal that Jesus' real message wasn't worshiping an external God, but freeing the spirit from flesh's slavery. The spirit is immortal. The body fades. Whoever knows this is truly free. The Cathars, spiritual descendants of the Gnostics, were wiped out in the 13th century for believing the world was a prison and salvation came through knowledge. This world is not real. It's not our home. True light exists beyond matter. Alchemists and the transmutation of lead. Medieval alchemists grasped this truth and expressed it through the metaphor of turning lead into gold. Not just a physical process, but a spiritual awakening. Paracelsus wrote, "The true alchemist does not seek gold, but the awakening of his own divinity." Basil Valentine, another renowned alchemist, said the processes of solve and coagula, dissolving and recombining, symbolize breaking matter's bonds to reach enlightenment. In Egyptian lore, the Book of the Dead instructs, "O soul, awaken from the prison of the body, cross the threshold and return to the source from which you came. Science and the illusion of matter. These esoteric teachings about matter's illusory nature resonate with modern science. Quantum physics shows reality as a field of shifting possibilities, where matter at its core is energy vibrating at different frequencies. The famous double-slit experiment demonstrated particles acting like waves or particles depending on whether they're observed, suggesting consciousness plays a key role in creating reality. Max Planck, considered the father of quantum mechanics, said, "All matter originates and exists only because of a force that makes the particles vibrate. Behind this force, we must assume there is a conscious, intelligent mind, a matrix of all matter." Carl Jung, through his theory of synchronicity, proposed that the outer world is a projection of the psyche. What we call reality reflects the observer's inner world, the body as the soul's vehicle. If matter is an illusion and the universe mental, then the body is just a temporary vessel for the soul. Spiritual traditions have emphasized this for thousands of years. The Tao Te Ching says, "The body is like roadside dust. The spirit is the wind that moves it." The Avesta, the sacred text of Zoroastrianism, describes the body as a fleeting garment the soul must shed to return to its divine origin. Rosicrucian writings teach that the physical body is only one of many bodies humans possess, the densest and most limited. The writings of the Order of the Temple spoke of purifying the body through spiritual discipline to go beyond its limits. Hidden knowledge through the ages teaches that matter is only a manifestation of mind, and that the true human is a spirit trapped in a dream it must wake from. Those who grasp this truth have gone beyond ordinary existence. Mystics have reached higher states of consciousness. Alchemists left coded guides for spiritual transformation, and Gnostics fought to keep their message alive in a world that relentlessly hunted them. If the universe is mental and matter an illusion, then reality can be shaped by thought and faith. This knowledge has been hidden, twisted, and suppressed because it gives power. It frees, and it makes humans the creators of their own destiny. The next step on this journey is to understand how faith connects to manifesting reality. If you say to yourselves, "Awaken from the dream of matter," then the light will show the way. Pistis Sophia. Chapter 4. Conscious Manifestation and the Power of Intention. The mind of man shapes his destiny. There are no gods writing the future, only the vibration of his thoughts turning into reality. Hermes Trismegistus, Corpus Hermeticum. Since ancient times, sages have taught that reality isn't fixed, but a flexible field of possibilities. When the human mind aligns with the laws of the universe, it has the power to turn energy into matter, to make visible what was once invisible. Hermetic teachings, alchemical texts, and Gnostic writings all agree. The key to manifestation is conscious intention. Focused will, combined with absolute certainty, acts like a chisel sculpting reality. Reality as mental projection. Ancient cultures didn't see reality as random events, but as a reflection of the observer's mind. The Gospel of Thomas, one of early Christianity's forbidden texts, says, "What is within you, if you bring it to light, will save you. If you don't bring it to light, it will destroy you." This means our inner thoughts and feelings aren't just passing emotions, they're creative forces that shape our destiny. The Upanishads and Vedic texts echo this. You are your deepest desire. As your desire is, so is your intention. As your intention is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your destiny. If the mind is the source of reality, then mastering your thoughts and emotions and directing them with clear intention is the key to transforming your life. The law of vibration, One fundamental Hermetic principle is the law of vibration, summed up in the Kabbalion. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This means everything in the universe, from atoms to thoughts, is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Manifestation happens by aligning your inner vibration with the reality you want to create. Medieval alchemists captured this with the phrase, "As within, so without. As above, so below." This knowledge passed down through many traditions. In Kabbalah, the energy called Keter, when properly focused, can manifest any reality. The power of the word and sacred vibration. Esoteric traditions have long said that spoken words are a direct channel for creating reality. It's no accident many religions describe the universe's creation through the divine word. In Genesis, God said, "Let there be light," and light appeared. In the Vedic tradition, the primordial sound Aum is considered the vibration that created existence. Sufis use the dhikr, repeating sacred words, to change perception and reach higher consciousness. As the Tao Te Ching says, words are the subtlest form of action, and action is the densest form of words. Language isn't just for communication, it's a tool for creation. Affirmations, declarations, and prayers, spoken with absolute faith, can reshape the very fabric of existence. The science of manifestation. Mind and the quantum field. Modern quantum physics is confirming what ancient sages knew. Consciousness interacts with reality in ways traditional science can't explain. The double-slit experiment showed particles behave differently when observed, suggesting reality responds to the observer's presence and intention. Dr. Masaru Emoto's work on water crystals demonstrated that thoughts and words change their structure. If human emotions can influence water, imagine their effect on the physical world. Carl Jung's idea of synchronicity explains that external reality and the inner mind are connected. Events in life aren't random but mirror mental and emotional states. What you believe with certainty shows up in your reality. Guardians of the secret of manifestation. Throughout history, this knowledge has been protected by secret orders and enlightened mystics. The Templars were accused of heresy for their deep understanding of mental power and its ties to Middle Eastern mystical traditions. The Rosicrucians encoded these teachings in their alchemical texts, and Sufi mystics preserved them through poetry and symbolism. The Persian mystic Al-Hallaj was executed in the 10th century for claiming humans could unite with divinity and manifest their own reality. Before dying, he said, "Faith is not hope, it is knowing, and he who knows creates." The writings of the Order of the Temple and Rosicrucian documents state that absolute certainty is the key to fulfilling desires. Louis-Claude de Saint-Martin, a 17th century occultist, wrote, "Reality is not imposed on man. Man imposes reality through his will. If the mind is the source of reality and conscious intention shapes the physical world, then faith is the ultimate tool for manifestation. True faith isn't passive belief, but absolute certainty. It's not hoping something will happen, but knowing it has already happened on the energetic level, waiting to appear in the material world. This knowledge has been hidden because it gives power. It frees people from dependence and lets them become architects of their own destiny." The next chapter will explore how emotions and the subconscious influence manifestation, and how to align the mind with conscious creation. There are no miracles, just laws humanity has yet to fully understand. Chapter 5. The subconscious and the hidden programming of reality. Until the unconscious becomes conscious, destiny will direct your life, and you will call it destiny. Throughout history, great initiates have understood that the world around us is really just a reflection of what's inside us. What most people don't realize is that the reality they experience isn't created consciously by their rational mind, but by the hidden depths of their subconscious. From the temples of Egypt to Sufi monasteries, from Gnostics to Kabbalists, all have taught the same truth. The subconscious is the true architect of existence. Master your subconscious, and you master reality. The subconscious, guardian of destiny. Modern psychology shows that 95% of our decisions, thoughts, and emotions come from the subconscious. That means even when you think you're making conscious choices, it's your hidden programming shaping your path. The Gnostics knew this well. The Gospel of Philip says, "He who does not know his shadow is condemned to live in it." Sufi teachings explain that we're trapped in cycles of thought and emotion we barely notice. The poet Rumi wrote, "You were born with wings, but you've learned to crawl." True manifestation requires not just conscious effort, but deep reprogramming of the subconscious. The subconscious in esoteric traditions. Ancient traditions called the subconscious by many names and used different metaphors. In alchemy, it's the black dragon, the dark part of the psyche that must be transformed before reaching the philosopher's stone. In Kabbalah, it's linked to Yesod, the realm of imagination and dreams, the filter connecting mind to matter. Hermetic teachings describe it as the hidden sphere where thoughts are planted that will later grow in the outside world. Hermes Trismegistus said, "The universe is mental, but man's mind is asleep. He who awakens his hidden mind will awaken his divinity." This secret has been guarded because it grants immense power, the hidden patterns that shape life. The subconscious stores memories and emotions, but also filters what experiences show up in our lives. Every thought leaves an impression in the ether. Those who dwell on poverty will live scarcity. Those who cultivate wealth in their subconscious will see it manifest. Rosicrucian writings say, "The problem is most people are programmed from birth with limiting beliefs." The Templars wrote that society was designed to keep people mentally enslaved. Education, dogmatic religion, and culture plant ideas deep in the subconscious that limit our power to create. Louis-Claude de Saint-Martin wrote, "The greatest trick of the adversary is not physical oppression, but convincing man to accept false beliefs as his own." Alchemy of the psyche. Alchemists taught that true transformation starts not with metals, but with the psyche. Paracelsus wrote, "Disease doesn't start in the body, but in the spirit. Healing doesn't begin in the flesh, but in the mind." The power of imagination and visualization. One of the best-kept secrets in esoteric orders is using imagination as a creative tool. Vedanta teaches that reality is just a projection of our inner beliefs. The Bhagavad Gita says, "Man is made of his faith," what he believes, that is. Sufis used visualization to connect with the universe. Al-Hallaj, a Sufi martyr, was executed for saying imagination was the true link to divinity. The Rosicrucians insisted imagination isn't fantasy, but a creative faculty. Their writings teach, what you see clearly in your mind will inevitably become real. Napoleon Bonaparte, who was connected to esoteric traditions, said, "Imagination rules the world." This is the foundation of magic, manifestation, and inner alchemy. The science of the subconscious and neuroplasticity. Modern science is catching up with what ancient sages knew. Neuroplasticity proves the brain isn't fixed. It can be reshaped by new thoughts and experiences. Studies show repeating mental images and affirmations can change brain structures, leading the mind to adopt new beliefs and habits. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a pioneer in subconscious power, explains, "Your brain doesn't distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. Transformation happens when you teach your body how the new reality feels before it happens. Hypnosis research confirms the subconscious can be reprogrammed with repetition, matching the ancient practices of mantras, affirmations, and decrees. Reprogramming the subconscious for manifestation. Esoteric orders have developed methods to align the subconscious with conscious intention. Repetitive affirmations. Repeating powerful statements while relaxed is one of the best ways to reprogram the subconscious. Creative visualization. Imagining your desired reality with strong emotion, as if it's already here. Meditation and autosuggestion. Entering a deep receptive state where the subconscious is open to new programming. Rituals of inner transformation. Alchemists symbolically burned old beliefs and planted new ideas. Avoiding negative influences. Steering clear of messages that reinforce limitation and scarcity. Conclusion. Recovering inner power. The subconscious is the true engine behind reality. What's planted there will show up in your life, whether good or bad. The great initiates understood this and left coded clues so humanity could break free from conditioning. Master your unconscious mind, and you hold the power to change your destiny. The next chapter will explore how energy and vibration shape reality, and how you can align your frequency with abundance and fulfillment. He who masters his mind masters the universe. Chapter 6. Energy, Vibration, and the Secret of the Universal Frequency. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla. Since ancient times, sages have taught that everything in the universe is vibration. Nothing is truly solid. When you look at matter closely, it's really just energy in motion. This idea shows up in Hermetic traditions, Vedic writings, Middle Eastern esoteric schools, and has been confirmed by modern quantum science. But this knowledge goes beyond theory. Those who learn to control their own frequency can actually change reality to work in their favor. Hidden teachings say vibration isn't just a property of matter. It's the foundation of existence itself. As part of this cosmic structure, humans can change their vibration and influence the very fabric of reality. The universe is energy in motion. Ancient civilizations understood that the universe isn't static, but a symphony of waves and vibrations. The sage doesn't fight the current, but flows with the Tao, says the Tao Te Ching of Lao. In this flow, they find wholeness. In Kabbalah, the concept of the Or, infinite light, represents the primal vibration from which everything comes. Hebrew mystics taught that every sound, word, and emotion sends out a frequency that can affect matter. The Vedantins believe the sound Om is not just a ritual chant, but the cosmic vibration sustaining all existence. Alchemists claimed every metal and substance has its own vibration, and that turning lead into gold wasn't just a physical process but a spiritual one, raising the vibration of dense matter until it becomes a purer form. The Kabbalion and the law of vibration. The Hermetic principles in the Kabbalion state. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This shows reality is a constant flow of energy, and what seems solid is really vibration slowed down and condensed. Ancient esoteric traditions knew that to manifest your desires, you need to tune your own vibration to the reality you want. This means you aren't just a victim of outside events. You send out a frequency that attracts similar people, events, and situations. Like attracts like. Whoever vibrates in scarcity will attract poverty. Whoever vibrates in abundance will attract wealth. Corpus Hermeticum. Quantum science and the power of vibration. Quantum physics has revealed that matter is basically energy in motion. The famous double-slit experiment showed particles acting as waves or matter depending on if they're observed. This suggests reality is more flexible than we thought and that consciousness plays a key role in shaping it. Dr. Masaru Emoto's experiments with water crystals showed that words and emotions affect water's molecular structure. Loving and grateful words create beautiful patterns, while hateful and fearful words create chaotic, distorted shapes. Since the human body is over 70% water, your emotional vibration has a huge impact on your health, destiny, and environment. The human energy field and resonance. Humans aren't just flesh and bone. We're energy fields constantly interacting with the universe. In Hinduism, chakras represent energy centers that regulate the body's vibration. Sufism speaks of baraka, an energy that rises through prayer, dance, and meditation. Hermetic teachings say you can raise your frequency through thought, intention, and inner alchemy. He who controls his vibration controls his destiny. Paracelsus. Mystics say when you raise your vibration, you shield yourself from negativity and attract opportunities, health, and abundance. This is the basis of conscious manifestation. What you hold in your inner vibration shows up in your outer world. Sound and vibration as tools of transformation. Since ancient times, specific sounds and frequencies have been used to change consciousness and realign the body's energy. Vedic mantras, Gregorian chants, Kabbalistic prayers, and Sufi zikr all share one goal: tuning human frequency to the universe's harmony. Mystery schools taught that sound doesn't just affect the mind, but can change matter. Egyptian priests used sound to heal and shift energy. Pythagoras found certain musical intervals could raise consciousness, and his theory of the music of the spheres suggested the cosmos itself is a vibratory symphony. The Rosicrucians said, "Every word, every thought is a note in the symphony of existence." The wise choose their vibration carefully because they know they're composing their own reality. How to raise your vibration and align with abundance. Vibration isn't just an idea, it's a real force you can change. Elevated thoughts. Negative thoughts lower your vibration. Love, gratitude, and certainty raise it. Sound and frequency. Listening to high vibration music, chanting mantras, and using specific tones can reset your energy. Movement and breath. Your body is a vibratory instrument. Dance, conscious breathing, and yoga unlock and elevate energy. Environment and relationships. Your surroundings affect your vibration. Being around positive energy helps keep your frequency high. Spoken word. Every word has vibration. Speaking with intention and confidence can transform reality. Conclusion: mastering vibration. The universe responds to the frequency you put out. Reality isn't random. It mirrors your inner vibration. The great mystics, alchemists, and sages knew that mastering vibration means mastering reality. When you raise your frequency above fear, scarcity, and doubt, you enter a level of existence where manifestation is effortless, abundance is natural, and the universe becomes your ally. Next, we'll look at how emotional energy shapes manifestation and how to turn emotions into creative power. Master vibration, master your life. Chapter 7. Emotional energy and its impact on manifestation. Emotion is the fuel of creation. What the heart feels with intensity, the universe turns into reality. Corpus Hermeticum. Since ancient times, those initiated into the hidden mysteries have known that emotion is the most powerful force in the process of manifestation. It's not enough to simply visualize a desire or set an intention without pairing it with strong, aligned emotion. Emotion acts as the bridge between the conscious mind and the subconscious, and it's through emotion that reality responds. Quantum physics and ancient wisdom. Quantum physics is starting to confirm what alchemists and mystics have known for thousands of years. Emotion isn't just a psychological feeling. It's a vibration that interacts with the quantum field. Rosicrucian texts say, "Thought is the seed, but emotion is the water that makes it grow." The power of emotion in creating reality. Gnostics taught that humanity remains trapped in illusion because it doesn't understand the power of emotion. The Gospel of Philip states, "What you feel with all your being becomes your destiny." This means that emotions held deeply in the mind and heart aren't just temporary. They send a vibrational command to the universe. Alchemists symbolized emotion as the inner fire, the force that turns raw matter into gold. Paracelsus wrote, "The fire of burning desire shapes the philosopher's stone." Sufism teaches that properly channeled emotion can elevate consciousness. Rumi, the great mystical poet, wrote, "What you seek is seeking you, but it will only find you when your heart calls it with enough intensity." Emotional frequencies and their effect on manifestation. Every emotion carries a specific vibration. Science has measured these frequencies and found that emotions like love, gratitude, and joy emit harmonious, expansive waves, while fear, guilt, and despair generate dense, chaotic ones. David R. Hawkins, in Power vs. Force, mapped a vibrational scale where the highest emotions, love, peace, enlightenment, have the strongest positive impact on reality. The Zohar, a central Kabbalistic text, says, "He who dwells in joy abides in the dwelling of the Most High. He who dwells in sorrow abides in the shadow of death." The Rosicrucians affirmed, "Feel as if it were already real, and it will be." The role of the heart in creating reality. Mystics have long held that the heart is the true center of power within a person. It's no coincidence that many ancient traditions saw the heart as the soul's seat. Modern science shows the heart's electromagnetic field is 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. This means emotional vibration influences manifestation far more than rational thought. The HeartMath Institute found that feelings like gratitude and love expand the energy field and sync it with the environment, creating what we call miracles or synchronicities. The Tao Te Ching says, "A calm heart is a mirror of the universe. What it reflects becomes real," transforming emotions into manifestation energy. Esoteric groups develop techniques to turn emotional energy into a powerful creative force. Subconscious reprogramming. Since the subconscious responds more to emotion than logic, it's essential to generate strong feelings of certainty and joy when visualizing your goals. Use of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful emotion because it signals to the universe that your desire is already real. Transmutation of negative emotions. Alchemists didn't deny difficult emotions but used them as fuel for transformation. Anger, fear, and sadness can be changed into passion, determination, and power. Heart coherence practices, conscious breathing, meditation, and deliberately generating elevated emotions create a strong energy field that speeds up manifestation. The Templars noted that combining intention, emotion, and action was the real key to success. He who controls his emotion controls his destiny. The danger of misdirected emotion. Just as emotion can create, it can also destroy if uncontrolled. Ancient sages warned against sustaining fear, guilt, or despair, since these create chaotic realities. The Corpus Hermeticum says, "He who feeds his fear builds his own prison." Gnostics taught that archons, low-level entities, feed off dense human emotions, and the only way to break free is by keeping your vibration high. The Gospel of Judas says, "Fear is the chain of those who do not see. Only he who knows his power is freed from the shadow's grip." Conclusion: emotion as the master key. Emotion is the secret ingredient in creating reality. The universe doesn't respond to empty thoughts, but to the powerful vibrations of sustained emotion. The sages through the ages knew that mastering your destiny means mastering your emotions. Whoever learns to intentionally generate elevated emotional states will hold the power to turn their life into a masterpiece of conscious creation. Next, we'll explore how the laws of karma and hidden causality affect manifestation, and how to break free from limiting patterns that hold back your creative power. Remember, the universe doesn't respond to what you think. It responds to what you feel with intensity. Chapter 8. Karma and hidden causality in manifestation. Every effect has a cause. There's no such thing as chance, only laws in motion. Kybalion. Since ancient times, people have tried to understand the mysterious fabric of existence. Why some seem destined for greatness while others face ongoing hardship. Why some attract luck and harmony while others get caught in cycles of scarcity and pain. The answers don't lie in random chance or a fate forced upon us by outside forces. The law that governs reality is the same one quietly taught in mystery schools and secret sacred texts. Causality is absolute, and the universe reflects back exactly what each person projects from their deepest self. Karma and the unchanging law of cause and effect. Eastern sages called it karma, the unbreakable law of cause and effect. Hermetists called it the law of correspondence. Rosicrucians spoke of vibratory retribution. Gnostics referred to it as the soul's cycle of learning. All recognize that the universe isn't chaotic, but an ordered system where every action, thought, and feeling produces a matching reaction in our experience. Man reaps what he sows, not because a god punishes him, but because his being acts like a magnet, attracting like energies. Pistis Sophia. Those who truly grasp this law stop being victims of fate and start shaping their own lives. They understand there are no coincidences or accidents, only precise laws working as reliably as gravity or magnetism. The Templars protected this knowledge in secret writings, teaching that destiny is just the shadow of past choices falling over the present. The Sufis said destiny isn't a fixed prison, but a flexible outcome, and anyone who wakes up to the law can rewrite their path. The Egyptian Book of the Dead and Cosmic Justice. The ancient Egyptians symbolized cosmic justice through the goddess Maat, represented by the scales weighing the heart during the final judgment. This wasn't divine punishment, but a reflection of the vibration each person maintained in life. He who sows in darkness will reap in darkness. He who sows in light will be upheld in light. Cathars, Gnostics, and the cycle of learning. The Cathars, persecuted for their esoteric knowledge, believed each life is a chance to clear the residues of the past and raise the soul's vibration back to its original purity. Their hidden texts explain that the soul reincarnates in cycles, repeating lessons until consciousness breaks the wheel of suffering through true understanding of the law. The Gnostics taught the material world is a school where every experience mirrors the energy you've put out. It's not punishment, but a mirror showing the soul the results of its own vibrations. The Gospel of Thomas says, "Whatever you give to the world gives back to you. But once you realize this, you're no longer trapped by it." Rosicrucians saw karma not as a sentence, but as a chance to grow. Every challenge we face is a key opening the door to a higher level of understanding. Resist it, and the lesson repeats. Accept it, and the door opens, changing your reality, transforming karma through inner work. The Order of the Temple's writings show initiates knew how to clear karma by inner transformation. It wasn't about religious forgiveness, but about raising the soul's vibration through wisdom and mindful action. The Varantists taught that karma shows up not only in outside events, but in how we think and feel. Every limiting belief, deep fear, and pattern of lack reflects energy stored from past lives or subconscious programming from childhood. The Bhairab JT puts it simply: the soul is its own judge. What it plants, it harvests. There's no God punishing or rewarding, only the law in perfect balance. Alchemists symbolize this with the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail. Life is a cycle, and everything sent out returns to where it started. But they also knew the Ouroboros could be broken. The cycle transcended by those who understand the hidden cause of their reality and change it at its core. He who understands the law stops being a slave to fate and becomes its master. Paracelsus. The Sufis explained karma isn't a curse, but a compass guiding the soul toward awakening. Al-Aya, who was executed for claiming union with the divine, wrote before dying, "There is no punishment, only an echo. What you send to the universe is what comes back." Rosicrucians taught that karma can be transformed through the art of conscious vibration. Energy isn't fixed, but can shift when the cause behind it changes. Quantum insight and breaking karma. Quantum physics is beginning to confirm what the ancients knew. Reality isn't fixed, but a field of possibilities shaped by observation. If karma is the result of emitted energy, dissolving it means changing how we vibrate with the world. Gnostics said the quickest way to change reality is by expanding consciousness. Recognize your repeating patterns and you can stop them. Understand the cause of your experience and you can change it. In the next chapter, we'll explore how multidimensional consciousness and existence beyond linear time influence manifestation, and how to tap into the power of the eternal self to rise above the limits of time and space. Destiny isn't set in stone. When you awaken to the law, you unlock its power. Chapter 9. Multidimensional Consciousness and the Power of the Eternal Self. Time is an illusion created by the mind to keep us feeling separate, but in ultimate truth, everything exists in one single eternal moment. Corpus Hermeticum. From ancient civilizations to the latest discoveries in quantum physics, the idea that reality goes beyond a linear view of time has been a cornerstone of hidden wisdom. While the logical mind insists on a timeline of past, present, and future, initiates have always taught that true being goes beyond this illusion. The Sufi mystics said the eternal moment is the only real time. The Kabbalists spoke of all possibilities existing simultaneously in the tree of life. The Varantists described reality as multiple interconnected dimensions. The Gnostics, whose teachings were suppressed by the Church, affirmed that the soul isn't limited to one linear life, but operates on many levels at once. The Gospel of Thomas says, "When the blind man sees the world he once knew disappear, he will remember he has always been one with the light." This knowledge has been kept secret because it reveals the biggest truth. Humans aren't stuck with a fixed fate. Consciousness can move between realities, jump across timelines, and access higher versions of itself. The Templars, in their secret writings, said true immortality isn't in the body, but in expanding consciousness beyond time's limits. The Rosicrucians taught that the present self is just one expression of the soul, and true freedom comes when you learn to connect with your higher self. Time is nothing but a shadow cast by the mind. When you awaken, you realize you already are what you're searching for. Pistis Sophia, the eternal self in connection to infinity. Esoteric texts speak of the higher self as the divine essence that goes beyond our limited human existence. The Varantists called it Arman. Christian mystics identified it with the inner Christ, and Hermetists with the universal mind. Writings from the Order of the Temple suggest initiates practiced ways to connect with their eternal self, gaining knowledge beyond their experience and accessing realities where time has already served its purpose. The Cathars said death isn't an end but a shift in perception, and those who reach gnosis can remember all their lives at once. The Sufis taught that when the soul reaches a higher vibration, it can communicate with its future self, receiving guidance about its path. Rumi, the great Persian mystic, wrote, "You are not just this moment. You are the sum of all you've been and all you will be. Listen to the one already awakened within you." Timelines and the choice of destiny. Modern quantum physics is starting to confirm what the ancients knew. Reality isn't one fixed thing, but a range of possibilities existing simultaneously. Parallel universe theory suggests every choice creates a new path, and consciousness can move between these realities based on its vibration. Medieval alchemists said time could be shaped by will, and a true master could jump between moments, choosing the highest path for evolution. The Rosicrucians spoke about shifting perception's frequency, saying that by changing the inner structure of consciousness, a person can align with a higher version of themselves. There's not just one reality, there's an infinity waiting to be chosen by anyone who knows their power. Corpus Hermeticum. Hermetic texts reveal the mind doesn't just watch reality, but interacts with it, shaping events through the vibration it holds. The Kybalion says, "He who understands the law of rhythm can rise above life's ups and downs, navigating between them as a master of destiny." The Essenes, in their secret manuscripts, believe time is a spiral and that by expanding perception beyond the immediate moment, the soul's memory can be recovered, accessing the wisdom of the eternal self. The Templars believed anyone could access the knowledge of their eternal self through deep introspection and connection with their higher essence. Their secret writings say that by quieting the mind and entering deep receptivity, one could receive information from other dimensions. The Rosicrucians taught that anyone can get revelations from their higher consciousness by learning to listen to intuition and interpret the signs the universe sends. The wise don't ask time, they ask their own being, for what they seek is already within. Tao Te Ching. The Gnostics said prayer and meditation are tools to connect with the eternal self, not in a devotional way, but as a method to remember the truth behind the illusion. The Sufis practiced silent contemplation, teaching that in the emptiness of the mind, the soul's voice is heard. The Zohar, the central text of Kabbalah, says, "He who knows his true name knows his destiny, for the soul has a secret name that resonates with the heart of the universe." The Bhantiistas spoke of Akasa, the cosmic record where all possibilities already exist and can be accessed by those with perception beyond the ego's limits. Those who understand reality as multidimensional are no longer trapped by the illusion of linear time. Destiny is not a fixed path, but an ocean of possibilities for those who awaken their consciousness. Sages throughout history have taught that the mind is the key to accessing other lines of existence, and that consciously choosing your inner vibration opens doors to higher realities. Whoever awakens to the consciousness of their eternal self will go beyond ordinary limits and create a life aligned with their highest purpose. In the next chapter, we'll explore quantum manifestation and how to use your connection with the eternal self to bring your desired reality into being faster and more precisely. There's no past or future, only the eternal now. Those who understand this will be free. Chapter 10. Quantum Manifestation and Reality Engineering. The universe is not matter but thought in action. What the mind holds with certainty, reality reflects without delay. Corpus Hermeticum. From the depths of Hermetic texts to the latest discoveries in quantum physics, the idea that reality isn't fixed but a flexible projection of the mind has been reserved for those willing to go beyond the illusion of deterministic laziness. Quantum manifestation isn't magic or just positive thinking. It's the precise use of universal laws to change the frequency of existence and align consciousness with the reality you want. The Rosicrucians, alchemists, and Gnostics understood that the mind doesn't just observe reality. It shapes it based on its inner vibration. Initiates knew that the only limits to manifestation are mental programming and how we perceive time. The Kabbalion says it clearly, the all is mind. He who masters the mind will master his destiny. Modern physics shows that the observer doesn't just passively see reality, but actually influences how matter behaves. Matter is really just energy vibrating at different frequencies, and human consciousness can interact with this quantum field to reshape it. The Gnostics taught that manifestation isn't creating something out of nothing but tuning into a reality that already exists on another level of possibility. The Gospel of Thomas says, "The kingdom is already here, but people don't see it because their eyes are closed." The Sufis described manifestation as the art of letting divine will flow freely through you. Alay, the martyr of Sufism, said before his execution, "Truth belongs to the one who holds it pure. There's no separation between the one who desires and the desired, only doubt." The Templars hid this knowledge in their coded writings, saying control over reality comes from aligning intention with vibration, quantum observation, and reality creation. One of the most eye-opening discoveries in quantum physics is that reality doesn't manifest until it's observed. The double-slit experiment showed particles behave either like waves or matter depending on whether an observer is present. This confirms what the ancients knew. Consciousness shapes reality. Carl Jung, developing his idea of synchronicity, said life's events aren't random accidents but reflections of the mind's inner state. What a man believes inside, he finds mirrored outside. The Rosicrucians talked about reality engineering through control of mind and emotion, saying the universe reflects back exactly the frequency held in consciousness. The Kabbalists, writing about the Sephira of Keter, explained that visible reality is just a later expression of a vibrational cause that already existed on a higher plane. The wise don't fight the current. They align with it and guide it with their intention. Tao Te Ching, manifestation from a state of certainty. Alchemists taught that the key to manifestation isn't desire, but absolute certainty that what you want already exists on another plane. Paracelsus wrote, "The secret isn't in asking, but in knowing it's already been given." Hermetic texts explain that faith isn't empty belief, but a frequency aligned with your desired reality. The Bhagavad Gita says, "He whose mind doesn't doubt has already received what he seeks." The Templars taught manifestation speeds up when desire stops being a plea and becomes unshakable conviction. The Cathars, in their forbidden writings, said the universe doesn't respond to need, but to the vibration of certainty. The order of the Temple's writings suggests conscious manifestation requires no effort, just alignment. The Gospel of Judas says, "Those who know don't ask. They simply walk in the light of their own truth." The trap of mental effort and resistance. One of the biggest mistakes in manifestation is trying to force reality with a rational mind. The ancients knew that too much mental effort creates resistance and blocks the natural flow of creation. The Rosicrucians taught the universe responds better to flow than to rigid control. The Sufis described the dance of creation, where surrendering to the universe's rhythm brings what others chase in vain. Rumi said, "Don't chase, allow, don't seek, receive. What belongs to you will come if you open yourself to it." The Templars talked about active waiting, where you set your intention but let go of anxiety and trust. He who chases life loses it. He who flows with life finds it. Tao Te Ching. Gnostic texts describe manifestation as living in harmony with the cosmos, allowing energy to flow freely. Fear and impatience block manifestation. Quantum manifestation is about tuning into the frequency of what you want, while holding absolute certainty it already exists before it shows up. The ancients understood reality reflects sustained vibration, and the universe doesn't respond to begging but to certainty. Whoever masters their inner vibration masters their destiny. The Templars, Rosicrucians, alchemists, and Sufis left clues to this knowledge in secret writings. The Gnostics tried to preserve it before being wiped out by those who wanted to keep the truth hidden. In the next chapter, we'll explore how dreams, visions, and altered states can help you access parallel realities and speed up manifestation. He who masters his mind shapes his world. Chapter 11. Dreams, Visions, and Altered States of Consciousness in Manifestation. He who understands his dreams understands his destiny. For what happens in waking life is just an echo of what's been planted deep in the soul. Corpus Hermeticum. Since ancient times, initiates of the mystery schools have known that human consciousness isn't limited to ordinary perception. Through dreams, visions, and altered states, we can access levels of existence where reality hasn't yet solidified. Places where the future can be shaped before it appears in the physical world. The Templars, Rosicrucians, and alchemists mastered these techniques, using them not just for insights, but to actively influence their own reality. The Sufis spoke of inner vision, a state where the soul travels beyond time and space to gain direct knowledge. Rumi wrote, "When you close your eyes, you see the real world. What you experience while awake is just a reflection of what you've already seen deep inside." The Kabbalists taught that dreams are coded messages from the higher self, fragments of alternate realities that can be explored by those who learn their symbolic language. The Gnostics said dreams are gateways to truth because the mind, freed from the body's limits, can remember lost knowledge and receive teachings from higher realms. The Gospel of Thomas says, "When a man sleeps, his spirit sees. When he wakes, he forgets what he saw." Dreams as tools for creation and manifestation. Esoteric texts teach that dreams aren't just subconscious projections, but windows into realities that aren't fixed yet. The Rosicrucians believe that in lucid dreaming, a person can work with their creative energy to influence future events before they show up in waking life. The Templars practiced directed dreaming, programming their minds before sleep to receive guidance. The Cathars saw dreams as reflections of the soul's vibration and believed controlling dream content lets one flow into matter itself. The Sufis spoke of true dreams, journeys where the spirit visits higher realms and brings back knowledge that can transform life on earth. Alchemists said dreams are the secret language of the deep psyche, and those who learn to read them can shape their destiny precisely. Paracelsus wrote, "The wise consult their destiny in sleep, where truth is found without the world's distortion." The Kabbalists explain that by visualizing and feeling a reality in a dream, you create a vibrational link to that possibility, drawing it closer. Altered states of consciousness. Altered states have been used since ancient times to access hidden wisdom and speed up manifestation. Shamans entered trance to receive visions of possible futures and shift their destinies. Christian mystics like Meister Eckhart described a state where the soul escapes the rational mind and connects directly to creation's source. Sufis, through dance and chanting, reached states where time disappeared and they experienced reality purely, free from the ordinary mind's distortions. The Rosicrucians taught deep meditation to view life from a higher perspective, tapping into the soul's records containing all past, present, and future knowledge. When the sage quiets his mind, he sees beyond time, because truth isn't in the mind, but in being. Tao Te Ching, alchemists spoke of the spirit, an invisible substance perceivable in deep introspection, containing universal knowledge. The Order of the Temple's writings say their initiates practice techniques to enter the eye of the soul state, transforming their world with a single thought. The bridge between worlds. Esoteric texts suggest that dreams, visions, and altered states aren't just internal experiences, but access points to other planes where reality is more fluid and flexible. The Gnostics believed deep withdrawal could bring contact with higher wisdom beings, entities existing on higher vibrational planes who pass knowledge to those ready to receive it. The Sufis talked about invisible guides seen only in silent contemplation. The Kabbalists said true communication with the divine happens not while awake, but in moments when the rational mind steps aside. The Templars recorded that in certain trance states, initiates could receive information from other times and places, tapping into wisdom from past and future lives. Alchemists spoke of the prima materia of spirit, the invisible substance that shapes events, only perceivable when the ordinary mind is completely still. Dreams, visions, and altered states are gateways to a deeper reality than normal perception can reach. Ancient sages knew consciousness isn't trapped by the body or time, and those who master these tools can create and manifest on a higher level. Whoever masters expanded perception will shape their destiny with greater precision and speed. The Templars, Rosicrucians, Sufis, alchemists, and Gnostics left traces of this knowledge in secret texts, knowing the day would come when humanity awakens to its true power. The next chapter will explore holographic reality, how the material world is simply a projection of consciousness in the quantum field. Those who awaken in their dreams will awaken in life. Chapter 12. The Holographic Reality and the Illusion of Matter. Don't be fooled by what your eyes see. Matter isn't real on its own, but a projection of the mind into the ether. Corpus Hermeticum. Since the beginning of humanity, initiates have understood that the material world is nothing more than an illusion, a projection of a deeper, unchanging reality. This teaching has been preserved in secret texts across cultures and confirmed by the latest discoveries in quantum science. The Vedantists called this illusion Maya, the veil hiding our true nature. The Gnostics said the physical world is a shadow of a higher reality, a prison created by the archons to keep humanity trapped in ignorance. The Gospel of Philip states, "This world is a reflection. Anyone who takes it as real will stay trapped, but those who see it as a projection will find the truth." The Templars, in their secret writings, said matter is just the densest form of consciousness, and that an initiate could learn to manipulate it by understanding its illusory nature. The Rosicrucians spoke of a hidden light within matter, the divine spark underlying everything but only visible to those who truly see. The Sufis explained that external reality is like a film projected onto the mind's screen, and the key to true freedom is learning to control the projector instead of reacting to the images. Rumi wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. What you see outside is just a reflection of what you carry inside. The universe is a hologram." Modern science is beginning to confirm what the ancients knew for thousands of years. Reality isn't solid or fixed, but a vibrational structure that responds to observation. Quantum physics shows that subatomic particles don't have a definite position until they're observed, suggesting matter is flexible and depends on consciousness to exist. Physicist David Bohm proposed the holographic universe theory, saying our 3D reality is just a projection from a higher dimension. This idea echoes Hermetic texts that say, as above, so below, as outside, so inside. All is a reflection of one thing. The Kabbalists spoke of Ein Sof, the infinite, formless reality projecting creation at different vibrational levels. Alchemists describe the physical world as crystallized primordial light, energy condensed into matter. Paracelsus wrote, "Nothing is solid, all is vibration and motion. Whoever understands this can change the structure of their destiny." The Gnostics said the body is just a shadow, a temporary vessel for consciousness on its journey through experience. The spirit is eternal, but the flesh is temporary. Whoever identifies with the body will be limited, but whoever knows their true essence will be free. Pistis Sophia. The Templars believed the key to manifestation wasn't changing matter from within matter, but understanding its vibrational origin and altering it with the mind. The Rosicrucians taught that matter and energy are interchangeable, and an initiate could shape reality through the right vibration of thought and feeling, programming reality and manipulating the hologram. If reality is a hologram, it's not fixed. It can be changed, reshaped, and adjusted through consciousness. The Sufis spoke of maqam, a vibrational state that determines the quality of reality experienced. The Tao Te Ching says, reality isn't a wild river. It's a calm sea that responds to the sage's intention. The Templars believed matter was a manifestation of divine will, and anyone who learned to align with that will could change their experience. They said the archons programmed human minds with false beliefs to trap them in a limited illusion, and the only way to break free is to awaken to the truth of holographic reality. The Kabbalists taught that language and spoken words are tools to reshape the hologram, since every sound carries a vibration that can alter reality's structure. The alchemists believed transmuting matter was more than physical. It was a transformation of perception. The Corpus Hermeticum says, "He who sees beyond the veil controls his destiny, for reality is just a reflection of the observer." The Order of the Temple's writings mention their initiates practiced ways to expand perception and access the world's true nature beyond appearances. The Rosicrucians explained holographic reality as a structure of light, and that the key to changing it lies in controlling the frequency of one's own consciousness. Those who understand reality as a hologram stop feeling trapped by outside circumstances, realize the world they experience is just a reflection of their own vibration, and gain the power to change it from within. The Templars, Rosicrucians, Gnostics, alchemists, and Kabbalists left clues to this knowledge in secret texts, knowing the time would come when humanity would wake up to its true nature. Whoever masters perception will master manifestation. In the next chapter, we'll explore the immortality of consciousness and how humans aren't limited to the physical body but exist beyond time and space. Those who see the world as a dream will awaken to the truth. Chapter 13. The immortality of consciousness and existence beyond the body. You are not the body or the mind. You are the eternal spark, the consciousness that can't be destroyed, only transformed. Corpus Hermeticum. Since the dawn of civilization, sages have taught that death isn't the end but a transition, a change in the state of consciousness. The idea of immortality has many interpretations. For some, it means the soul survives after death. For others, it's the ability to transcend the illusion of time and matter, freeing oneself from the cycle of birth and death. The Templars guarded this wisdom in their initiation rites. The Rosicrucians taught that consciousness isn't limited to the body but can expand and travel beyond time and space. The Sufis describe the dissolution of the illusory self as the true path to immortality. The Gospel of Thomas, one of the most revealing Gnostic texts, says, "When a man knows himself, he will realize he has never been born, nor will ever die." The Vedantists explain that the Atman, the essence of being, never changes and can't be destroyed. The Bhagavad Gita says, "Just as a man leaves his worn clothes to wear new ones, so the soul abandons the body for another." The Kabbalists spoke of Ruach, the divine spark that descends to earth but stays connected to the source. The ancient Egyptians taught that true existence isn't physical life but the Ka, the spiritual double that continues its journey on other planes after death. The Egyptian Book of the Dead says, "The body is perishable, but the spirit is immortal. What the eye sees will fade, but what the soul knows remains forever." Non-local consciousness and the science of immortality. Neuroscience has started to reveal that consciousness isn't produced by the brain, but is an independent entity that uses the brain as a channel. Dr. Stuart Hameroff and physicist Roger Penrose propose that consciousness is a quantum phenomenon existing outside time and space. Their research suggests that after death, the information held in consciousness isn't destroyed but reintegrated into the universe's quantum field. Near-death experience studies show that people who were clinically dead describe total clarity, suggesting consciousness doesn't depend on the physical body to exist. The Rosicrucians taught that death is just a change in vibration, a transition to a different level of existence. The Tao Te Ching says, "The sage does not fear death because he knows he has never truly lived in the form the world believes." The Sufis describe death as awakening from a dream, affirming that true reality begins when you transcend the illusion of matter. Rumi wrote, "When you die before dying, you will know eternity, for what you fear losing never really belonged to you." Multi-dimensional consciousness and the transcendence of the ego. The Templars believed death is just a return to the source, a transition to other planes where consciousness continues evolving. The Gnostics said the real prison isn't the body, but identifying with the illusion of self, and that freeing consciousness lets you rise above space and time limits. The Pistis Sophia says, "He who recognizes himself as light will return to the light. He who clings to shadow remains in shadow." The Kabbalists spoke of Gilgul, the cycle of reincarnations where consciousness grows until it reaches perfection. The alchemists described immortality not as endless physical life but as merging with the all, transcending existence's duality. Paracelsus wrote, "Death is an illusion for those who know the spirit's nature. The spirit doesn't die, it only transforms." The Rosicrucians spoke of vibrational ascension, where the initiate raises consciousness so death loses meaning. Understanding their true identity lies in eternal essence, not the body. The Sufis taught that immortality comes through expanding consciousness, dissolving the ego, and uniting with all being. Return to the source, the liberation of consciousness. Esoteric texts say consciousness, when expanded, can remember its origin and break free from birth and death cycles. The Gnostics spoke of the pleroma, the pure consciousness state the soul returns to after finishing its lessons in matter. The Zohar, the key Kabbalah text, says, "The spirit of man is a spark of infinite light. When awakened, it returns to its source." The Templars believed death is a gateway, and that those who understand this can consciously choose their next incarnation or merge with total being. The Rosicrucians described existence as a cycle of expansion and contraction of consciousness, with each life offering a chance to remember the hidden truth of eternal being. The alchemists spoke of the ego's death, the process where limited identity dissolves and the being experiences its true, infinite nature. The Corpus Hermeticum says, "Man is not mortal but believes he is. Whoever frees himself from this belief will be free forever." The Sufis spoke of Fana, the annihilation of the illusory self and union with divinity, where the individual stops seeing himself as separate and experiences the soul's eternity. Rumi wrote, "Don't seek eternity in the body, for it's dust. Seek it in the spirit, for it never fades." Whoever understands consciousness doesn't depend on the body will be free from fear of death and live with a certainty of immortality. The Templars, Rosicrucians, alchemists, Sufis, Kabbalists, and Gnostics left clues to this knowledge in secret writings, knowing humanity's awakening would begin when the veil of material illusion is lifted. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to use this knowledge to expand perception and access the highest levels of creative consciousness. You are not a body with a soul. You are an infinite soul experiencing a body for a brief moment. Chapter 14. The expansion of consciousness and the awakening of creative power. The mind of man is the key to the worlds. Whoever expands their consciousness will open the doors to infinity. Corpus Hermeticum, since ancient times, initiates in the mystery schools have taught that human consciousness isn't limited to ordinary perception. It can expand to reach levels of understanding beyond the rational mind. True human evolution isn't about gathering more knowledge, but about growing the ability to see reality from a higher perspective. The Vedantists spoke of samadhi, the state where consciousness unites with the totality of being. The Sufis called it fana, the dissolution of the self into divinity. The Kabbalists referred to accessing Da, the hidden wisdom beyond intellectual limits. The Gospel of Thomas says, "He who awakens will see reality as it is, no longer blind among the blind, but a child of the light." The Templars, through their initiations, practice techniques to shift their perception and connect with reality's hidden flow. The Rosicrucians said the highest knowledge can't be taught but only experienced by those who expand their perception beyond time and matter. The awakening of consciousness and quantum reality. Modern physics has begun to confirm what ancient sages have known for millennia. Consciousness isn't just an isolated brain phenomenon, but a force that interacts with the quantum field and shapes reality. Quantum mechanics experiments show that observation influences the behavior of subatomic particles, suggesting the human mind doesn't just perceive the universe but actually affects its structure. Carl Jung described the collective unconscious, a field connecting all humanity. The Rosicrucians taught that by expanding consciousness, one accesses a reality where time stops being linear and manifestation happens instantly. The Tao Te Ching says, "When man transcends his mind, he sees the truth, and the truth is that all is within him." The Gnostics said expanding consciousness means freeing the mind from ordinary perception's limits. The Pistis Sophia states, "The mind of man is both his prison and his key. Whoever uses it wisely will open every door." The Templars spoke of internal illumination, the state where reality is no longer seen as external but as one's own projection. Alchemists taught that transmutation isn't just about metals but the mind itself. Paracelsus wrote, "True alchemy is the transformation of thought. Whoever masters their mind will master their destiny." Higher states of consciousness and quantum manifestation. Research on consciousness reveals different states accessible through meditation, visualization, and focused intention. The Varantists identified 4 states: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and tuija, the pure state of unity with the all. The Sufis said entering ecstasy silences the mind and reality responds immediately to intention. The Kabbalists taught the human mind is a bridge between worlds, and manifesting desired reality depends on aligning with universal forces. The Templars practiced intense concentration to train their minds and project will into the physical world. The Corpus Hermeticum says, "The mind of man is the seed of the universe. Whoever sows wisely will reap effortlessly." The Rosicrucians taught that reality mirrors consciousness, and changing your thoughts automatically changes your world, expanding perception and controlling reality. The Gnostics spoke of gnosis, inner knowledge gained not by study but through direct experience of truth. The Templars believed training the mind to see from a higher level unlocks hidden information. The Rosicrucians said true wisdom isn't found in books, but in connecting with the universal intelligence within. The Zohar, Kabbalah's central text, says, "The mind is the eye of the spirit. What it sees becomes reality." Alchemists emphasize deep contemplation, focusing the mind so fully that time and space fade away. Paracelsus wrote, "The mind is the great laboratory of the universe. Whoever uses it well will turn lead into gold." The Sufis practiced dhikr, repeating sacred words to align the mind with divine flow and speed up manifestation. The Templars believed reaching hyper-consciousness let them glimpse the future and change it before it showed up in the physical world. The Tao Te Ching says, "The sage doesn't fight reality. He shapes it with his mind like wind shapes sand." The Gnostics said when the mind frees itself from the world's programming, it becomes a channel for conscious creation. The Pistis Sophia states, "A pure mind is like a mirror. It reflects the light without distortion, and all that's projected on it becomes real." Expanding consciousness isn't an intellectual task, but an awakening to the true nature of being. The Templars, Rosicrucians, Gnostics, alchemists, and Kabbalists left this wisdom in secret texts, knowing humanity's awakening would come when each person remembered their innate power. Whoever masters their mind will master their world. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to transmute reality through pure intention and connection to the universal source. He who remembers his essence will remember his power, and he who remembers his power will be free. Chapter 15. The transmutation of reality and the power of pure intention. The universe is a thought held in the mind of the all. Whoever masters their intention can shape their reality at will. Corpus Hermeticum. Since ancient times, initiates in the esoteric arts have understood that reality isn't static, but a fluid structure that responds to the energy of intention. In the mystery schools of Egypt, the Vedantist temples, and the hidden teachings of the Templars and Rosicrucians, the same truth was passed down. Intention is the force that moves the universe. The alchemists called this process transmutation, but it went beyond turning metals into gold. It meant transforming the mind, perception, and reality itself. Paracelsus wrote, "He who understands the nature of his thought can turn the lead of his destiny into the gold of wisdom." The Gnostics said the material world is only a projection of the mind, and that changing reality isn't about external action but internal reprogramming. The Gospel of Philip states, "He who recognizes his inner power doesn't need to change the world, for the world already belongs to him." The Sufis spoke of pure intention, a state where mind and spirit align in a single vibration of absolute certainty. allowing reality to rearrange itself according to one's desire. Rumi wrote, "When desire is pure, the universe has no choice but to grant it." Reality as a mirror of intention. Esoteric texts make it clear that reality doesn't respond to weak wishes or uncertain hopes, but to intention held with absolute conviction. The Kabbalists taught that the vibration of intention determines how quickly a manifestation appears. In Kabbalah, Keter, the crown, is the level where pure intention arises before becoming manifestation. The Zohar says, "Light follows thought. What the heart holds with certainty, the universe confirms." The Templars believed intention was the most powerful creative force, and in their rituals, they focused energy on a single goal until reality responded. The Rosicrucians affirmed that intention aligned with higher will knows no barriers. The Corpus Hermeticum states, "Nothing can't be changed by a focused mind. Reality is just a reflection of the energy held in thought." Medieval alchemists said external transformation could only happen after internal change. Paracelsus wrote, "No illness of the body exists without its root in the mind. No poverty in the world arises without belief." The Sufis taught that intention must be free of doubt because doubt blocks the creative flow. The art of transmutation and conscious creation. The Gnostics emphasized freeing the mind from outside influence, so intention could act without interference. The Pistis Sophia says, "He who lets the world control his thoughts is a slave to destiny, but he who controls his mind is the master of his existence." The Rosicrucians taught that to change reality, you must first change perception. The Kabbalists affirmed the universe responds to certainty, and that an intention held with full conviction becomes a cosmic command. The alchemists said everything in the physical world is a densified vibration, and changing the vibration of intention changes reality. The Templars believed absolute faith in intention was key to instant manifestation, removing resistance and doubt. Esoteric texts agree the only real barrier between desire and manifestation is mental resistance. The Sufis taught that the nafs, the lower ego, is the only barrier between a person and their creative power. The Tao Te Ching says, "Those who flow with life receive effortlessly. Those who resist lose their power." The Gnostics explained the mind is programmed with doubt and fear from childhood, and transmutation means undoing those limiting beliefs. The Gospel of Judas states, "Those who know the truth don't ask, because they know they have already received." The Kabbalists taught that intention must be sent out with the conviction that it's already granted, since doubt sends a conflicting vibration that slows manifestation. The alchemists spoke of training the mind to hold a single vibration steadily, because the universe responds with precise accuracy to the signal sent. The Rosicrucians said the disciplined mind is the most powerful tool for transforming reality. Conclusion: becoming a master of reality. Changing reality isn't blind faith. It's the result of applying pure intention precisely. The Templars, Rosicrucians, Gnostics, Kabbalists, and alchemists left clues in secret texts, knowing humanity's awakening would begin when each person remembered their true power. Whoever masters intention will master destiny. This book has revealed hidden principles passed down through the ages, a guide for those who want not just to understand reality, but to master and transform it at will. The knowledge here is just the start. True alchemy happens when this knowledge is applied with absolute certainty. Don't look outside for what's always been inside you. You are the creator of your world. Those who remember this will no longer be slaves to reality, but its masters. The knowledge hidden for centuries can no longer stay in the shadows. Humanity is at a turning point where truth is coming back, and each person has the chance to remember their power. Initiates across time knew this moment would come when truth is revealed, and those ready will reclaim sovereignty over reality. This book is an invitation to transform. The question isn't if reality can change. It's whether you're ready to accept that you're responsible for what you experience. Those who grasp this truth will stop living at the mercy of circumstances and start living as conscious creators of their destiny. He who remembers his power will remember who he is, and he who remembers who he is will know no limits.